AITA for making my future ILS uncomfortable by talking more openly about my adoption and my parents. So I 25M am engaged to my fiancée Erin, also 25F. Since we started actively planning our wedding, Erin's family, but mostly her parents, have developed an obsession with stating how tragic, sad, unfortunate it is that I won't have my real family there, and that there'll be no blood relatives of mine present for the wedding or our life together. Erin has told them my real family are my dad's and my siblings, but they wave that off like it's BS. Erin has told them the topic is to be closed, and we have left on a couple of occasions because they brought it up since. But this last time I decided to be open. It was a dinner where Erin's immediate family were present, and some family friends. Erin's parents brought it up again how tragic it is, and so I decided to divulge my feelings and my experience with adoption and my parents. I was removed from my biological parents at the age of 5 and placed in foster care. I had a very unstable 2 years before I met my dad and my PA. I was 7 when I moved in with them, 9 when I became eligible for adoption, and that same year I welcomed the first of my 2 siblings. I was so lucky to find my parents and to end up with the family I have. I remember clearly some of the bad with my biological family, and I don't miss that. So I told my future ILS that I didn't find it tragic at all. That people who can make a 5-year-old feel so unloved that they never see a future where someone could care for them. That you can be surrounded by those who share your DNA and never experience kindness or love. I told them I could not imagine having any of those people in my life today, and I could not imagine thinking DNA means more than love. I told them I was miserable being with those people, and I wished every day for someone to love me, and that I didn't know love until I was 7, and I met my parents, and more specifically my dad, who embodies love and is hands down the most loving, caring, compassionate, and thoughtful person I have ever met. He is my shining example of someone who loves and has such a deep capacity to love. I told them my real parents are the dad and PA who took in a kid who was so depressed and scared and dragged down that he didn't eat like a normal person, was afraid to sleep, and would often cry when sleep did overtake him. I told them that my real parents are the people who walked me to school every morning, who sat and helped me catch up with school and homework because I was so far behind that I should have been back in kindergarten. I told them my real family are the parents and siblings who know I do not share their DNA but love me anyway and have been there for me through every single step of my life since I was 7 and who made me a forever part of their family through adoption. My future ILLs were silent after that. But they told me I humiliated them and made them uncomfortable in their own home, and I shouldn't have spoken like that. Erin told them they should learn when to quit and apologize to me. AITA? First comment, in high school, I dated a guy for 2 years. He and his brother were both adopted as their mom couldn't bear children. Towards the end of those 2 years, CPS removed me from my home and his parents took me in. It was absolutely incredible how they were willing to do absolutely anything to help me. His mom found out about my history with SUL assault and got trained to work ASIG assault hotline just so that she would be prepared if I ever wanted to talk. That level of love and care. It's been 18 years since then, and we are still in close contact. We live 1,000 miles apart, but still talk on the phone a few times a month. These people didn't adopt me. I only lived with them for about 6 months, and they hadn't met me until I was 14, yet they've provided me with some semblance of stability for more than half my life. How anyone can say adoptive parents aren't real family is totally the FEK beyond me. Second comment, my mom is adopted, although she was adopted as a 2-month-old baby who was voluntarily given up by a mother who couldn't take care of her and had no trauma memories like yourself up. However, I feel the same about my maternal side of the family. No shared DNA whatsoever, but they were amazing. Mima and Poppy were my grandparents, no one else, and they loved us so very much. I have very happy memories of them, along with aunts, uncles, and cousins from that family too. Poppy passed on in 2000 and Mima lived until 2009, and I miss them terribly. They were my family, no one can convince me otherwise. We did eventually find out who her bio parents were because her bio mother had died when my mom was 17. The law in Texas at the time allowed her to see her adoption records, with the encouragement of her parents and extended family. She was welcomed by the extended bio family. Her bio dad was still alive, and we were never treated wrong. But they also didn't go out of their way to create real bonds either. To me, they were kind of like those good friends who you might call Uncle Mike or Aunt Jenny, even though they're just your parents' friends. They didn't come to my first wedding, and they have never met my kids. But Mima and Poppy and multiple members of the extended family came to my wedding and have visited, or we were invited to visit them to meet my kids and spend time with us. Shared DNA. While good to know your ancestry and medical possibilities, does not a family make. Third comment, NTA. Not even close. It's sad that your in-laws decided to take what you said, which is a really beautiful story about love and family, and found a way to twist it and make it about them. I'm adopted, and a couple of my ILS to this day think of me as some poor orphan child when that couldn't be further from the truth. I got to have two loving parents who wanted me and could care for me. They had two parents who they all admit should have divorced but stuck it out because family. One of them was having trouble conceiving and her spouse suggested adoption, but my Sil was too afraid the child wouldn't love her, she would want her real mom. If your ILS feel humiliated, then good, maybe they learned something. If they still insist blood and blood only define family, pity them. If they think DNA is what makes a family bond, they probably don't have a great family connection to begin with. Best to you and your fiancé and your actual real family dad and PA.